Hey babe, how much did we save on our phone bill?
Oh, you know, I think it was actually like close to 70 bucks.
Every month?
Yep.
Hi, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Michelle.
This is Thor.
And we're a millennial couple trying to live on one salary
And get out of debt
while still living a content lifestyle.
Join us in our journey as we live lux on less.
We're Hey Alexa. We're a millennial couple trying to get out of debt with one salary and living on the other. It's our belief that the first step to your dream life is financial literacy. Hence, lowering our bills. In this video.
When you're trying to live on a budget, finding ways to cut your monthly expenses is totally key. One of the big expenses that we found we were able to cut is our phone bill.
So we were both using major wireless providers previously to getting married, and that came with a high cost. We were on two separate family plans, and each of those family plans wanted to like disassemble.
No disassemble!
And get new plans, basically.
A lot of change was happening
For everyone involved in all of those plans. So it was really important that we found our own plan, which is where we kind of jump into today.
Yeah, and we also, at the same time, both needed new phones for different reasons, and so we started looking into this, and we were like, this is going to be a huge expense rather than a way to cut costs. But after we did a bunch of research, we found a way to actually get huge savings at the end of the day.
Yeah. So the first thing we did was we researched plans, and while we were researching plans, of course, our families were also researching plans because Ryan was on his family plan, I was on a family plan with a couple of friends of mine, and they were like, Michelle, why haven't you checked out Mint Mobile? They have really great reviews, and they give you this like referral code, and they're super reputable. And I was like, huh. So I went home, told Ryan about it, and he was like, well, that's interesting, because he had just like researched another discount budget provider. So it was literally the cheapest. Even after we looked at a couple of the other budget plans, this one was the cheapest, and we were like, well, this is a no-brainer. We should just
at least give it a shot.
Give it a shot. Our friends were giving it a shot. They seemed to really like it. So we used their referral code, got me on the plan, and then you use my referral code to go into your own plan, which was really nice. So we were talking to these friends, and they were like, Michelle, just go to the Google website and look at the Google prices. And I was like, what are you talking about? I've looked everywhere for new phones. They're so expensive. They're like, no, you haven't looked at the right place. We're getting one for like less than $500. And I was like, there's no way. And so then we went to the website as we were looking at the at Mint Mobile's plans, and we realized, holy cow, this may actually be doable.
So we found basically the cheapest phones that we could that were still kind of that flagship level, because we didn't really want a refurbished or old used phone. I know there's a lot of different opinions about that, but it's just not what we wanted, because we were coming from old phones already. You're dealing with phones that are just kind of behind the times of, you know, they're constantly getting upgraded, and then your phone is old like 6 months later. And the battery starts running low, so we decided we wanted newer phones, and since the Google Pixel 5 had just come out, the Google Pixel 4a was still pretty new, so we decided that was the best deal we were going to get. And so we were able to get both phones for $700 together, so $350 a piece. And they were already unlocked, because you can do that from Google's website.
Yep.
And that was another thing you need when you do switch to Mint Mobile from another carrier. You do need to make sure you get your phones unlocked, which you can do with any phone, but it's just easier when the phone is already unlocked to begin with. All in all, we were able to cut our phone bill from approximately $150 a month down to $40 a month.
$110 savings. Now, that is not including that we did spend the $700 on our phones, which we basically saved for.
So, at the end of it all, was it worth it?
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, we wanna always be authentic in everything that we do and say, and if we're gonna recommend something, we want to just be real when we're recommending something. And the biggest thing that I would say is there was a slight, if I'm honest, there was a slight quality drop. So there are times that Ryan and I will not drop the call, but like someone's voice will just go kind of silent, or the call on one end of the phone, it's like, hey, are you there? And then it's like, oh, okay, now I hear you. Now some of that is operator, like
sometimes
user
you just
error
hit the mute button.
on an accident with your cheek, and you're like, but most of the time it is, it hasn't happened very often, but it can be a little frustrating.
Yeah, and if that was an important phone call, that would be even more frustrating. That hasn't happened to us yet. It doesn't happen
No.
that often. And honestly, like, it's surprising how little I actually use my phone as a phone when I'm
Right.
communicating with most people. So I think that's part of why it's not as much of an issue. And probably why it happens with you more often than anyone else, because you're like the only person I talk to.
The other thing to know about Mint Mobile is that they don't have their own towers. They are running off of other service providers' towers. I do believe it's T-Mobile, but we'll make sure to do a little bit of research further to make sure on that, because I'm scared it might not be true and I don't want to lie to you. All in all though, we would 100% recommend and agree that this is the way to go if you're trying to save some cash, especially monthly expenses. We're committing for a year. We made sure to wait until we were ready to make that commitment before we recommended this to you guys, even though we were super excited and super eager to tell you guys all about it.
Yeah, and that yearly savings is how we were able to get it down so low, is that we're paying...
So this took our bill from around $1,800 a month. Now that is including my phone that I was paying for. I think I paid it off somewhere in there, but this is what we were paying right around the time we left our major providers. So we went from $1,800 a month that we were allotting for a phone bill of some kind, and we are now doing $480, and that roughly comes to $1,300 in savings for us a year. That's an annual savings of $1,300, which is an incredible amount of money, especially when you're trying to put everything towards debt and savings so that you can live your dream life, like we are.
Yeah. So all in all, yeah, I'd say for me, I think it's a great decision. And I think my favorite part is the little fox.
Maybe we'll link him here. Fox, yeah. Ooh, fox, yeah. Yeah, so we will be leaving our, like we said, we got this, we found this and we got a referral code through our friends. They got a $15 kickback for me joining, and I got a $15 kickback for Ryan joining. And so all in all, it saves everyone some money. So we're gonna leave our referral codes in the
description box
below. And if you are in the market for a new phone, go ahead and, or at least a new phone plan, go ahead and check them out. They really are, there's really nothing terrible to say about them, and we would 100% recommend them.
Absolutely. So, if you found this video helpful, if you would just hit that like button. If you want to see more content from us, we'd love it if you would subscribe. That would be a great gift to us.
And it's budget friendly.
And you can also see some behind the scenes stuff on our Instagram, which is
Yes.
at HeyOlexa with an O. And until next time, budget wisely.
And compromise kindly.
See you guys.
Bye, you guys. That it's our belief. What is our belief, Rio? We believe a lot of things. Like, don't speed through the alley.
That's one of our beliefs.